and the Conciliation Committee is expected to come up with a memorandum of understanding on, among others, the minimum safety services the members of the union shall provide in the event of a strike. So that particular story is something that we'll be bringing to you later on in the course of this bulletin. After that, we will also be giving you details on what exactly the government is going to be leveraging on. Remember, this is to do with the existing status. Of course, the government will now leverage on the existing power connectivity infrastructure to connect homes to the fiber optic.
Well, the Cabinet Secretary for Information, Communication and Digital Economy, Ludowalo, says the internet connectivity provides employment opportunities and the government is determined to ensure all homes can access affordable and reliable internet connectivity. Now, Owalo spoke as he launched free Wi-Fi hotspots in Ajigo and Ndori markets in Siaya County. Chola Simon has more details on this.
The Information, Communication and Digital Economy Cabinet Secretary Ludowalo continued with the government push to have more Kenyans access internet connectivity by launching 2 more free Wi-Fi hotspots in Ndori and Ajigo markets in Siaya County.
We are now going to use the existing electricity transmission lines to connect fiber. So at the tail end of the exercise, where there is electricity connectivity, we are also going to have fiber connectivity. We are determined to deliver internet to each and every home.
The government seeks to build at least 100,000 kilometers of digital superhighway, install at least 25,000 free Wi-Fi hotspots in selected markets across the country, and at least 145,000 digital labs across all wards in the country.
We are working in partnership with members of parliament. They have already facilitated a review of the CDF Act that will now enable them access CDF funding to establish facilities where we are going to deploy the digital hubs. As national government, we will bring the computers, we will bring the training service providers to provide that training for free. We will connect the internet and also connect the youth to global technological companies to get digital jobs.
The Cabinet Secretary for Information, Communication and Digital Economy says the government is banking big on the sector to absorb millions of unemployed youths.
Collar jobs are today limited. Where there is enormous potential is the digital space. As we speak, we have already managed to train a total of 390,000 youth in the digital space, and we have also managed to get a total of 135,000 youth digital jobs.
Achola Simon, Easy Friday, Siaya County.
Now, a section of Kisii political leaders are now urging impeached Deputy Governor Dr. Robert Monda to seek legal redress following Thursday's decision by the Senate to uphold his impeachment. Well, according to Kisii Senator Richard Onyonka, Dr. Monda should exercise his constitutional right of appeal in court, even as he censured the county leadership over the endless wrangles. Joseph Wakungu now has the details.
Just a day after the deputy governor was shown the door following a 2-day sitting of the Senate, Kisii Senator Richard Onyonka has urged him to seek legal redress if dissatisfied. This has renewed calls for dialogue to spare the county of further embarrassment. He also lamented over his futile efforts to reconcile wrangles between county leaders, which culminated into Monda's removal from office.
Yesterday, the Senate impeached Dr. Monda, but as you know, I abstained. The reason for that is that I have constantly and deliberately looked for a way on how we can engage our leaders. I think the way we've been fighting each other and making noise and making idiots out of ourselves in public, the issues of violence in this county, I have talked about it publicly.
Onyonka further asked the County Assembly Oversight Committee to steer clear of divisive politics. According to the senator, Governor Simba Arati was likely to have a date with the Senate to explain the alleged dismal development performance.
I will engage the governor. My responsibility as a senator is that most likely the governor may be summoned to come to the Senate to come and explain to us what the challenges are, what are the issues, why are we not able to spend the money that we are holding at the CRF account. Right now, we have about 3.7 billion shillings, which is in the CRF account.
Senators voted overwhelmingly Thursday night to remove the deputy governor after finding him guilty of all 4 counts, with 39 senators voting to impeach him, 3 abstaining and 1 voting against his impeachment. For Easy Friday, I'm Joseph Wahungu.
Moving on, Joseph Kuria Irungu, alias Joey, has moved to appeal his conviction and death sentencing in the murder of businesswoman Monica Kimani.
Well, through his lawyer, Andrew Muge, Joey says he will appeal the verdict issued by Justice Grace Nzioka on 13th of March this year.
More details in the scales of justice. Take a look.
Joseph Kuria Irungu, alias Joey, shall suffer death
barely 48 hours after he was handed the death sentence. Joseph Irungu, alias Joey, has filed a notice of appeal. The appeal copy to the registrar and DPP reads in part, take notice that Joseph Kuria Irungu, alias Joey, appeals to the Court of Appeal against the decisions of the Honorable Lady Justice Grace Nzioka, delivered in an open court at Milimani, Nairobi, on the 9th day of February, the year 2024, and in her written judgment, dated 9th February, the year 2024. The appellant intends to be present during the hearing proceedings. End of quote. In delivering the death sentence, trial judge Grace Nzioka said he was culpable in the murder and Monica Kimani's death was well planned and executed by a trained person. Irungu was charged alongside former TV broadcaster Jackie Maribe, who was acquitted on 9th February 2024. Elsewhere, over 113 members of Duboto Settlement Scheme have filed a petition seeking to be paid compensation from acquisition of their land by the Kenya Railways in Embakasi South. They claim the 2.7 billion shillings paid by the government went to few individuals.
We want to tell the government to intervene very urgently because the matter is a serious matter. People have been deprived of their rights.
We will actually explore all available avenues of redress, including having the DCI, the EACC investigate this issue and hopefully prosecutions be preferred.
They want the Environment and Lands Court to issue an order directing Kenya Railways to return their lands and the perpetrators arrested. Michael Mondiga for Easy Friday.
Now, the government will expand the President's Award Kenya, that's PAK, reach to include in-school and out-of-school youth across the nation.
While speaking in Nairobi during the President's Award Kenya Media Breakfast, Cabinet Secretary, Youth Affairs, Creative Economy and Sports, Babu Namwamba, said the move will ensure every young person has access to the opportunities provided by the program, thereby contributing to Kenya's economic growth and prosperity.
The award recognizes achievements by youths that have a positive impact to the society.
The President's Award Kenya has continued to show commitment in supporting mainstream youth involvement in national development actions, ensuring that the youth play an integral role in shaping the future of the nation.
In that adventurous journey, I have been able to learn resilience and the sheer will to take part in, to push myself so that I can overcome some difficult obstacles that I may be able to go through.
Cabinet Secretary, Youth Affairs, Creative Economy and Sports, Babu Namwamba, said the government is committed to providing young people with the resources, opportunities and support they need to thrive and contribute meaningfully to the society.
The government continues to invest in this program. In this financial year, government has put in 70 million Kenya shillings to support this program. We'll continue to mobilize more resources. I want to use this occasion to appeal to other partners to come on board.
The CS challenged youth to go beyond their comfort zone and develop their skills and tools to improve themselves.
This program also develops leaders. It grows leaders. It's a breeding ground for leaders. Young people who want to get into the space of leadership. Young people who want to go entrepreneurial, they want to get into entrepreneurship and do business. So you can't get a better program than this that breeds a holistic human, a holistic person.
This award's biggest mandate is the development of young people, what we sometimes call youth for young people's empowerment.
Stakeholders have been called upon to help create awareness and support the advancement of the President's Award Kenya.
There can't be a young person in Kenya who has not heard of the President's Award. And it is through the partnerships with the media, it is through the partnerships with philanthropists, it is through partnerships with the private sector that we will achieve the goal to reach every young person in Kenya.
The award has over the years extended its reach, impacting the lives of over 500,000 young people in various schools, universities, among others.
Nostalgia there indeed. I remember when I went for the Presidential Awards scheme, and it was most definitely the most exciting time during the term.
Absolutely. I can only imagine how that was, right? Moving on, back to a top story tonight.
Now, the Kenya Medical Practitioners, Pharmacists and Dentists Union say that it is ready to engage with the government as directed by the Employment and Labour Relations Court.
Well, the union, however, says that the strike remains in force until the government provides a solid return to work formula.
The Conciliation Committee is expected to come up with a memorandum of understanding on, among others, the minimum safety services the members of the union shall provide in the event of a strike. Take a look.
Of the Employment and Labour Court on Friday maintained that the ongoing doctor strike is illegal, calling for a conclusion of the ongoing negotiations to unlock the impasse. In a quick rejoinder, the Kenya Medical Practitioners, Pharmacists and Dentists Union has remained firm that the strike is still on pending the negotiations.
We are happy because the court has ordered for the government to sit on us on the table to resolve the issues that we raised. And therefore, we want to reiterate that we are available today, we are available tomorrow, we are available on Sunday, we are available on Monday to have these matters resolved. In the meantime, the strike that we had, or that we started on 13th, continues until we have what we call a return to work formula that then ensures that what is aggravating us are actually resolved. So it is now the ball is in the courts of the government as per the order of the court.
The union, which says 80% of the doctors across the country are on strike, however, said that it is ready to engage in talks. And as the strike entered the second day today, some hospitals were still offering uninterrupted services. At Mbagathi Hospital in Nairobi, patients were spotted at the facility, although the hospital CEO, Dr. Alex Irungu, says the number has significantly dropped.
Because of the information that has gone out there, today being the second day, the number of patients has significantly decreased. This is not to say that we are not offering services. Services are being offered and going on uninterrupted at Mbagathi Hospital. Our doctors are on duty. And any person who comes, client, patient who is coming to seek services at Mbagathi Hospital is being attended to.
Sijafeel impact, but nimesikia daktari wengine wakisema wamegoma wengine, but kwa mimi kivyangu nimeona tu iko tu sawa, nimetibiwa tu vizuri.
Huku nimekuja kama patient, kwa nakujanga natibiwa, hasa kama saizi wakati wa mgomo, naona mambo zinaendelea vizuri. Kuna madaktari wanahudumia mapatient.
The management of the Kenyatta University Teaching, Research and Referral Hospital also informed us that their services were not disrupted by the ongoing strike, citing they don't have intern doctors, which is among issues raised by the doctors' union.
We have not been affected. The ministry is leading the negotiations with the union, and so those negotiations are ongoing. But so far, we have not been affected, and we don't think that we're going to be affected.
Kisii County Health CECM Ronald Nyakweba, on the other hand, appealed to the doctors who had downed their tools to resume work.
I want to urge our health workers, wherever they are, that let them continue attending to our patients. Those ones, for one reason or the other, have not reported to work. Please, wherever you are, we're requesting you to report to work as soon as possible.
Dr. Oimeke Marita, the Chief Executive Officer at Kisii Teaching and Referral Hospital, claimed there was no strike at the facility. A similar situation was witnessed in Homa Bay County. The The chief officer in the Department of Health, Dr. Kevin Osuri, said that most of the facilities in the county were operating normally.
We have done spot checks in the hospitals. I was in the hospital in the morning and another sub-county hospitals, and I can tell you, I found our doctors in theatre, in outpatient clinics, seeing patients.
The matter on the doctor's strike will be mentioned on the 20th of March 2024 for further directions. The second day of the ongoing doctor's strike and the spot check by KBC has revealed that in some hospitals services are being offered, while in others the number of patients has significantly dropped. Nancy Okware reporting for Easy Friday from Bagathi Hospital, Nairobi.
All right, and with that, it's time for us to take our first commercial break, but we will be back shortly. Remember, we have a story where we'll be talking about the state of the economy and what different parties have to say about that.
Absolutely, and of course, being a Friday, my culture a bit later, business and sports on the way. But on the other side of the break, we're back in a moment.
We offer the most scenic views from the mountains and the hills and caves. Chulu, Nzaui, Mboni Hills would offer the best views of Machakos and in some cases even Nairobi. From both Mboni and Chulu, you can even see the Kilimanjaro. And for those who would love hiking, Makueni offers very good altitude for those who like hiking, those who like mountain climbing, those who like picnics, because other than the beautiful hills, we have beautiful forests, we have conserved our environment. I can assure all of you who are visiting Makueni that you will love not only the peaceful nature of our environment, the accommodation you will get, but more importantly, you will love Makueni by loving the people even more.
Haya, sisi ya kungoja kwenye star 570 hash kuna ploti na ni up to 1.1 million Kenyan shillings with a genuine title deed na inakungoja star 570 hash ukana shake.
Welcome to Sensei Institute. Mahali skills zangu ni pesa mkononi. At Sensei College, practical skills is the definition. Accredited by the government and founded on a Christian background, Sensei College offers all-rounded programs that are tailor-made to enhance your skills and give you the future you desire. We offer courses such as interior design, fashion and design, hairdressing and beauty, hospitality courses, trailer driving and defensive driving, building construction technology, CCTV, solar and electrical installation, photography and video production, electronic courses, vehicle electronics and mechanic courses, agricultural mechanics, ICT, and many more. To enroll in any of our campuses in Nairobi and Nakuru, all you need is your national ID card. Mapema do best. Take advantage of our monthly intake. Come to kusort na skills. Sensei College, my skills, my future.
It is a beautiful day, my people.
Does she look like? Is she hot and smart upstairs?
Let me tell you guys, some of you here will not see the gates of heaven. I'm telling you the truth.
When all of you are this is low.
Hey, umeanza kuvuka mipaka sasa? The guy of the day is a Pepe.
Is Mbaya. Is not power, Tinash. It's not power.
It's not power yet. This is your big day.
Where is the backup plan? Where is my backup plan?
All the plan that I need is right here. This beautiful, soft face.
Welcome back. Now moving on with our live broadcast, where Raila Odinga has inched closer to being the next African Union Commission chairperson following a decision by the AU Executive Council okaying the East African region to produce the next AUC chair.
Well, Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi, lauding the move, says this will now see Odinga in the race for the seat, adding that all the technical and legal hurdles have been surmounted with the decision of the council.
Kenya has been lobbying within the region for Odinga to clinch the seats in the polls set for February next year.
It is now increasingly evident that the opposition leader Raila Odinga will be on the ballot for the position of the African Union Commission chairperson, following a decision of the AU Executive Council okaying the next chair to be elected from the East African region. Prime Cabinet Secretary and Foreign Affairs CS Musalia Mudavadi said there are no more hurdles preventing Kenya from submitting a candidate for the position.
We actually want to appreciate and thank our brothers and sisters in the African continent for making it clear, removing all ambiguities, that it is the turn of East Africa to provide leadership or to offer leadership in the African Union.
Mudavadi says Kenya will work closely with the 14 member states within the East African region to build consensus around the candidature of Odinga.
This was a very important session, and I'm happy to report that there was unanimous acceptance and adoption of the recommendations of the PRC. This was critical because it affirmed the position that had been taken earlier by the Assembly of Heads of State, that in order to bring more equity and diversity within the African Union, the rotational principle becomes very, very important.
The Council also gave the green light for the Northern Africa region to front candidates for the deputy chairperson, while the other three regions, Central, Southern and Western, will compete for the 6 positions of the commissioners.
Among the key elements of the draft decision was the question of the eligibility of the various regions to submit candidates for various positions. The East African region was recommended to provide candidates for the position of the chairperson.
He stated that these efforts are continuous and will include all other regions to ensure that the opportunity for electing effective leadership of the AUC provides a platform for uniting the continent.
We see this as an opportunity where the synergy can be consolidated. And indeed, the African heads, when they were here in February, also nominated President William Ruto to take up Kagame's mantle in furthering the reform process within the African Union. So we believe there's a strong synergy, and we are offering Africa a very credible candidate.
Timothy Kipnusu for Easy Friday.
Now, a section of Kenya Kwanza and Azimio leaders differed over the status of the economy at a Thanksgiving prayer meeting organized by the Nairobi business community.
Well, on one hand, Kenya Kwanza leaders, led by Nairobi Governor Johnson Sakaja and Kiharu Member of Parliament Ndende Nyoro, maintained that the economy is slowly thriving, with the Kenya shilling strengthening against the dollar due to the blueprint laid out by the Kenya Kwanza administration.
The Azimio leaders, led by the Wiper Party Kalonzo Musyoka, on the other hand, poked holes on the state plans to revive the economy, claiming that the finance bill, that's 2024-2025, will see the increase of taxation on the already overburdened citizens.
Well, here's our reporter Abdiaziz Hashim with the details of that.
At the heart of the Central Business District, businessmen and women in their numbers converged at Duruma and Kumasi Road Junction for a Thanksgiving prayer for the community in the capital. It is here that a host of leaders drawn from the Kenya Kwanza and Azimio outfits differed over the status of the country's economy. Nairobi Governor Johnson Sakaja and Kiharu MP Ndende Nyoro stated that the implementation of the Kenya Kwanza administration manifesto has seen the economy slowly recovering and the shilling gaining against the dollar.
Na mimi nashukuru sana kwa zile policies ambazo tumeongozwa na rais wetu kuweka. Tumeweza kuona ya kwamba shilingi ya Kenya inazozana na ya US na saa zingine ya US inaaguka chini.
But everybody can attest today, shilingi inakuwa imara. Saizi shilingi inapelekana na dola. Saizi mafuta jana imeshuka shilingi 5. Tunatumai itashuka tena zaidi, na shilingi nyingine ilishuka na ngapi? 7.
While the Azimio leaders led by the Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka claimed the increase of taxation on the overburdened Kenyans has increased the cost of doing business in the country. And according to them, the recent proposals made in the Finance Bill 2024-2025 will not make things any easier for the business communities in the country.
Let the majority have their way, but the minority must have their say. Na inchi kama hii ambayo kuna communities 43%, 43 communities. Akbisho ombea adui wa ukabila.
So tunaomba Mwananyoro akienda, sababu the budget policy statement inaonyesha ya kwamba finance bill inayokuja 2024 itaongeza ushuru zaidi kuliko finance bill ya 2023.
Finance bill mnataka muangalie policies zile ambazo zitasaidia wananchi hawa kunawiri. Wakinawiri pia nchi itanawiri na itafanya mambo mengi.
Nairobi County Government promised the business community of its support in creating a conducive environment free from any harassment or intimidation. Abdiaziz Hashim for Easy Friday.
Now, Principal Secretary in charge of Internal Security and National Administration, Dr. Raymond Omolo, has urged the youth to embrace technical courses at vocational institutions as well as foreign languages to boost their economic prospects.
Well, Omolo, who spoke in Homa Bay, said the policy by the government to have a digital hub established in every ward across the country is meant to equip the youth in the country with the digital skills to enable them harness the digital economy.
Omolo stressed the role of education in socio-economic empowerment of the youth, calling for maximum support from parents.
Encourage our sons and daughters that please, we have TVETs all over, let's enroll so that we benefit from those programs for purposes of building the economy of this country. And the laws have also been amended for the Constituency Development Fund to be able to dedicate some resources to build digital hubs in each and every ward. So that in the case of Homa Bay, all the 40 wards will have a digital hub so that we improve on the digital skills so that our young ones can be employable and can be able to earn a living.
Now, tonight we take you on a journey to the heart of Kenyan culture where centuries-old traditions intersect with modernity in a celebration of life and legacy.
Well, this week on My Culture, we focus on the rich cultural heritage of the Vashisula. I hope I say that correctly. That's a sub-clan of the Angusu clan within the Abaluya community, where an elder is buried in a sitting position.
Take a look.
Amid the rhythmic beat of traditional drums known as Isikuti, a unique burial ceremony unfolded in Ikolomani, Kakamega County, highlighting the rich cultural heritage of the Vashitsula subclan of the Angusi clan. The ceremony, steeped in centuries-old tradition, honored Raphael Ichechi Musebe, a 102-year-old Second World War veteran, a revered elder of the Abashitsula subclan. The process begins with the gathering of mourners who come together to honor the departed soul. The burial ceremony consisted of two phases blending Christian and traditional values. Initially, the church conducted a ceremony under Christian rites, followed by the traditional rituals once the clergy departed. Dressed in their finest garments, adorned with symbols of wisdom and accomplishment, the elder is laid to rest in a manner befitting their status. In a departure from conventional burial practices, Musebe was laid to rest in a sitting position, facing the sunrise direction, a custom reserved for esteemed individuals among the Vashitsula.
Kwa hivyo kama sisi ndio inakuletea faida, lakini mluya mwingine asiyotoka Wanga hawezi sikwa hivyo. Tunasikwa hivyo kulingana na mahali tulitoka. Hatuwezi kulazimisha mtu mwingine asikwe kama sisi, maana waliosikwa kama wanalala ni kabila yao, na sisi tunasikwa kama tumekaa kulingana na mahali tulitoka Matungu.
This tradition, as explained by Shichapati Shipoche, a descendant of the Wange tribe, symbolizes respect and vigilance, ensuring that the deceased can watch over his homestead even in death.
Na sisi tunatengeneza kabati ya kuketi bila nimekaa namna hii. Inafanyiwa kwa mtu ambaye ako na poma, amesaa mtoto wake wa kwanza kijana, hivyo ikimpata kama kijana huyo anatahiriwa, ametosha kukaa. Kama amesaa mtoto msijana akiwa ameoleka, ako na watoto, anastahili kukaa. Sasa yeye anatosha. Hatukalishi mtu asiyosaa mtu, tunakalisha mwanaume ambaye anasaa watu.
The culmination of the ceremony includes the Shirembe ritual, where bulls engage in symbolic battle over the grave amidst drum beats and dance. Elders shed light on the intricacies of the burial process, emphasizing the importance of positioning the deceased in a specific manner inside the coffin to ensure virility and lineage continuity.
Wasiotoka huko wanasikwa tu kama kawaida, lakini wale wanatoka Wanga ndio tunasikwa tukiwa tumekaa. Sisi ndio wafalme kutoka kwa Nabgongo Mumia. Tunafuatana tu hivyo na hiyo kimila bila kuacha.
The performance of Shirembe was reserved for esteemed elders who met certain criteria, including having a circumcised son and demonstrating valor in war.
Mpaka ziingie kwa kaburi, mpaka zifanyiwe vile nilisema, wananyinyiza maharagwe, wananyinyiza mahindi, zikitoka huko zikiingia. Hata ngoma inapikwa hapo. Basi zikitoka zingine zinaingia. Watu kama wanaimba.
At the same time, the elders underscored the significance of adhering to tradition, warning of dire consequences for neglecting customary burial practices.
Kama amelala, hiyo ni kuharibu huo ukoo wote utakufa. Ndio tunafuata kimila.
The aftermath of the burial saw villagers clearing the deceased farm and heaping vegetation atop the fresh grave, a practice believed to yield bountiful harvests in the future.
Akisha sikwa hivyo, tunafanya utamaduni wa kuingiza ng'ombe na wamama kupika vigeregere, na wataweka maharagwe kuweka kwa hizo ng'ombe zikiingia, wananyinyiza huko kwa hizo ng'ombe zikiingia zinatoka, zikiingia zinatoka. Tunaita huo utamaduni Shirembe.
Further elaborating on post-burial rituals, elders describe additional ceremonies conducted.
Ng'ombe iletwe iwe tayari kwa kuichinja, na watu wakose kuwa na njaa hapo, watumie chakula hiyo. Mahindi iletwe isiagwe ya kutosha watu kukula. Hatutaki watu njaa kuwaumiza wakiwa hapo. Wamekuja kwa matanga, wasiwe na njaa ati mboga hakuna. Hiyo ng'ombe mpaka ichinjwe, itengenezwe, kila mtu aonekane amekula ukali hapo.
Despite the apparent differences between cultural traditions and Christian values, elders emphasize the compatibility of the two, advocating for harmony and mutual respect between cultural practices and religious beliefs.
Makanisa inasema na sisi pia tunasema, tulitoka Matungu na hiyo masishi kwa kabati, sisi tutaendelea naye.
The unique burial ceremony of Raphael Ichechi Musebe serves as a poignant reminder of the cultural diversity and richness entrenched within Kenyan communities, where age-old traditions continue to thrive alongside modern influence. Jackie Umbiru, My Culture.
Shamba ni mbili, yako ni gani? Kwenye star 570 hash. Every 100 shillings unayotumia kwa Lucky Game inakupa 1 entry point ya kuingia kwenye drum ya draw, ambayo inakupa fursa ya kujishindia moja kati ya shamba hizi mbili. Mwisho wa April namtangaza mshindi wa shamba hili la 1.1 million Kenyan shillings na unapata title deed yako safi. Na mwisho wa Mei namtangaza mshindi wa shamba hili la 1.1 million Kenyan shillings, lori za mawe na mchanga. Ploti ndizo hizi. Dial star 570 hash. Title deed ndio hii. Vuka na shake.
Ili kupata mtu wa baraka kama sikiza tune yako, bonyeza star 812 star 503 hash.
Wewe, ni kwa nini unafurahia vipaji ili asiye anayetoa? Kwa nini unapenda baraka, humpendi mtu wa baraka? Nauliza, ni kwa nini unapenda mchuzi wa papa ila papa mwenyewe humtaki? Ni busara kutambua kuwa ukimpata mtu wa baraka.
Kupata mtu wa baraka kama sikiza tune, bonyeza star 812 star 503 hash. Star 812 star 503 hash.
Welcome back to Easy Friday. Now let's look into matters business, where the new mining police unit has been equipped to deal with firms operating without documentation and those smuggling minerals and other vices within the mining value chain. Now, Mining Cabinet Secretary Salim Vuria says the decision follows the unearthing of 3,000 illegal mining operations across Kenya. He further says mining laboratories are being revamped to enhance their services.
Today was the launching of the vehicles, but we will do a lot more. We have already agreed to upgrade the lab here in Madini House so that it can satisfy international requirements. But we are also setting up labs in the regions to allow our investors to test and sample the minerals with ease. So we are doing all this to make this sector more inspired, and we are also doing this to create an enabling environment for investment.
Now, the Competition Authority of Kenya is calling on businesses and institutions to implement measures that mitigate risks associated with AI technologies, such as ensuring data security and preventing algorithmic biases, as well as minimizing potential harm to individuals or the society. Competition Authority of Kenya, that's CAK, Communications and External Affairs Manager Mugambi Mutegi says by prioritizing safety, institutions will foster trust and confidence in AI-driven products and services, ultimately promoting the ethical and equitable advancement of AI technologies. Take a look.
An obligation, or one of the responsibilities on your end, is that you do your due diligence. Before you purchase from platforms which are well known. There's a lot of, on Instagram, there are people purporting to sell products, but actually they're just fraudsters. So do your due diligence before you purchase online. Purchase from companies that are well known, companies that have consumer, a complaint redress mechanism. With AI tools, you're speaking with a machine, sometimes the bad customer service. So the theme of this year was chosen to ensure that the companies that produce these tools are aware that consumers have rights. Yes, they love the system, it's making their life and work easier. However, the companies should do more to ensure that the consumers who use them, their rights are not infringed upon.
Now, hotel businesses in Nakuru County is at peak with more than 100,000 visitors expected to flock to the fledgling county for the annual Safari Rally event. Already, hotels are registering 90% bed occupancy as racing fans, organizers and government officials throng to the resort lake town of Naivasha. The growing profile of Naivasha as a meeting and conference destination is also attracting more players, with Lemayan Suit opening its doors to visitors ahead of the WRC Safari Rally later this month.
Hotels and conference businesses have ballooned along the Lake Naivasha, Elementaita and Lake Nakuru development nodes. This has seen more than 5,000 beds being added in the region, boosting the MICE business. The tourism sector in the region has further received a major boost following the decision of the World Rallying Championship to host the Safari Rally in the county. In 2 weeks, the county is expecting more than 100,000 visitors during the annual racing event.
So we are ready for them, and we know that this is just a beginning of great things to come. And why is tourism performing in this manner? Is because Nakuru County as a whole has become a MICE destination.
Prepared for the activities that are about to happen in Naivasha. We have the Safari Rally and we have Easter. To our surprise, it has started so early. As from today, our facility is full.
According to the Nakuru County Tourism Association, all major hotels in the Lakeside County are fully booked during the event that kicks off on 28th of March 2024.
Government, in the current calendar year, we have already unified our license, as you have seen, for those who have already paid their license. And we are doing this because we want to make it easy for our investors to come and invest here in Nakuru. And also, we want to shorten the processes that are involved in acquiring a business license.
The growing profile of the county as a MICE destination continues to attract new players in the hospitality industry, with Lemayan Suits being the latest. Edna Murungi, Easy Friday.
Now, organizations could lose billions of shillings on a click of a button due to lack of cybersecurity training of employees. Yale-Bridges CEO Steve Mambo warns the institutions that do not set aside cyber threat budgets as they continue to expose themselves to hackers who target employees with little knowledge of cyber threat resilience. Take a look.
In March this year, the Communications Authority of Kenya sounded the alarm about a spike in cyber threats, with the number of attacks detected in the last quarter of 2023 skyrocketing to 943%, resulting in over 1.29 billion incidents. Now, cybersecurity experts are advising private and public sector institutions who are most targeted to consider building resilience through allocation of cybersecurity budgets.
I completely agree with that. There has to be a change of the mindset, of course, and it has come from the top. Yeah, it has come from the board level.
If the board themselves don't appreciate the risk of cybersecurity, they are not able to provide leadership. And leadership here, I'm looking at two perspectives: providing the resources in terms of budget for the technical team or the cybersecurity teams to be able to put in measures to deter these threats.
It is quickly emerging that a lack of understanding of cyber threats and the damage they actually cause to an organization may be one of the biggest reasons for nil allocation of funds to cybersecurity.
I think the exchange of information from the skilled cybersecurity experts to a broad audience is absolutely necessary to increase awareness and to make people adopt to the new threats that are coming.
Phishing is the most common method used by cyber criminals to target employees. Phishing attacks involve sending fraudulent emails that appear to be from a legitimate source, typically aiming to trick you into revealing sensitive information about your company.
As much as you can train individuals, I think it goes down to what are the tools and technologies that you're employing to better protect your business.
Today, everything is internet-based. You have so much which is technology-based. You have to create awareness for these risks.
The Communications Authority of Kenya is also currently advising that public-private partnerships in cybersecurity can be beneficial in sharing knowledge and resources, thereby building resilience. Alanauko, Easy Friday.
And that brings us to the end of business news. And of course, we've got Daniel Wahome, who will be giving us the latest when it comes to sports news. Of course, next week at a time like this, he will actually be at the WRC telling us the latest, giving us updates live. And I'm very excited on his behalf.
Well, actually, not next week, but 2 weeks from now.
What? Really?
Yes.
Wow,
but next week, we've got something else happening around the WRC.
Okay.
So we'll let you know, but I'll keep it under wraps for the time being.
Either way, excitement is at its peak. 1 week, 2 weeks, I'm very excited.
And I hope to see you there too.
We'll be there.
All right. Well, thank you, Shiksha, and let's get sporty now. And we start with a story from Mombasa, where the Mbaraki Sports Ground is now officially closed for upgrading. This was announced today by the Cabinet Secretary, Ababu Namwamba, who said the Ministry of Youth Affairs, the Creative Economy and Sports has set aside 250 million shillings for the exercise.
During a groundbreaking ceremony at the grounds, Sports Cabinet Secretary Ababu Namwamba said the upgrade will go a long way in nurturing talent, which was an important initiative of the Kenyan government and a clear indication of their efforts to ensure that the youth are factored in sports development.
Na ndio sababu tumefika hapa kama Wizara ya Michezo kutangaza wazi ya kwamba tumetenga shilingi milioni 250 kuanzisha kazi hii. Kwa hivyo ni muhimu na ni haki ya kwamba tunapopanga maendeleo ya taifa letu, lazima Mombasa, lazima Pwani ihusishwe kikamilifu vilivyo.
At the same time, CS Ababu commended KPA for their undivided support in nurturing talent, not only in football, but other sports too. He urged the management to ensure that in their next financial budget, they set aside more funds for the ongoing construction at Mbaraki grounds.
Katika ule mwaka ujao wa makadirio ya fedha 2024-2025, ongezeni kibaba chenu. Sisi vilevile upande wetu tunapoendelea vilevile kutafuta mbinu za kuongeza kibaba chetu ili tuweze kukamilisha uwanja huu ufikie ile hadhi inayostahili.
The CS acknowledged that the county was a hub for football players and he shall do everything to ensure that the stadium is completed after stalling for 10 years. For Easy Friday from Mombasa County, I am Anburu.
From Mombasa to Nairobi, where the Football Kenya Federation annual general meeting scheduled for tomorrow will not go on as planned following a court order issued by the Mombasa High Court today. The FKF AGM was scheduled to take place at the Kenya Institute of Special Education, KISE, but had been dogged by a standoff surrounding the eligibility of Murang'a Seal FC representative and club vice chairman Mohamed Hussein, whom FKF insists is not a registered member.
Or against that?
The 76 delegates drawn from Kenyan Premier League, National Super League, Kenya Women Premier League, Division 1 clubs and FKF branches said they won't allow any member to use the federation for their own personal interest. Led by Gogo FC chairperson Swale Yusuf, they reiterated that the federation derives its authority from FKF statutes and no member will be allowed to disrespect the constitution.
We want to categorically, and I'm using the word categorically, so that each and every one of us to understand that it comes from us, the delegate who will attend the AGM, that we are going to follow the rules of the Constitution.
The sentiments were echoed by Kiambu and Arora County chairpersons James Kamau and Lucy Kigeni, who said their role was to protect the game and the careers of many talents.
FKF empowers. The laws of this land has also empowered us. We'll do everything possible to make sure no one comes to disrupt when we are trying to set a precedent of good governance in football in this country.
However, some NEC members backed Hussein Mohammed, saying the FKF have no grounds to bar him from attending the AGM.
It is abundantly clear that the clubs possess the fundamental right, and I want to repeat this. It is the fundamental right for a club to nominate its delegate.
The FKF AGM was set to provide a clear roadmap for the general election scheduled for October this year. For Easy Friday, I'm Emmanuel Ndungu.
Being an MC.
Now, moving on is that the national hockey teams will finally join their compatriots at the 13th African Games in Accra, Ghana. The teams were named, the Ministry of Sports approved a team of 40 to travel to Accra, who are 36 players and 4 officials.
We have Awino Emmanuel Wiswa. We have
the team of that 6 was named today by Kenya Hockey Union, who boast of youth and experience. The men's team will be captained by George Mutira, assisted by Ivan Ludiali, and include new players Stuklif Usiagi, James Mwangi, and Derek Wakwabubi. They will be coached by former Kenya international Wilson Odhiambo, while Godfrey Bila will manage the team.
The men's side will be out to seek to improve on our rankings. Right now we are 5th, so we of course aim to come back with a podium finish and thus help us improve on our rankings.
Show yetu imekuwa sambamba. Haijakuwa kama hizo masiku za awali, lakini tumejitayarisha vilivyo na tuko tayari kupambana na wapinzani wetu.
Lynn Kipsang will captain the women's team, which boasts of new inclusions, namely Alice Wanjiku, Rachel Njogu, Maureen Sumbwa, Quinta Okore, Nicole Odhiambo, Leo Mwado, and Gaudisha Ochieng. They will be accompanied by experienced tactician Meshak Senge, while Jen Nyamogo is the team manager.
It was a difficult journey, but we are there. It started by both teams being dropped, but and then we ended up by both teams being reinstated. It was not easy. We had to fight for it, and we thank the ministry for listening to our cry and coming to our aid.
The women's team is ranked 2nd, while men's team is ranked 5th in Africa. Kingori Mwangi, for Easy Friday.
And the newly commissioned Dandora Stadium will play host to the Chapadimba Nairobi Regional Finals, scheduled for this weekend, where 8 teams consisting of 4 boys and 4 girls teams will line up for the regional title clash. The girls category has Misericordia Queens from Makadara, Page Vision Ladies from Mathare Valley, Dagoretti Mixed Girls, and Beijing Raiders. Young Kings from Dandora, Lucky Summer Sports Club, Macmillan FC and Dagoretti Lions will line up in the boys' competition. The weekend matches follow successful grassroots games played across the 17 sub-counties that attracted over 310 teams. The winners will pocket 250,000 shillings and book a slot to represent the region at the national final set for early next month. Now, the Kenya Rugby Union has announced the return of the Rugby Super Series after a 10-year break. While making the announcement, the chairman of the organizing committee, Agri Chabeda, said the tournament has a rich history and has played a significant role in shaping the landscape of Kenya 15's rugby. He said that for the first time, 2 women's teams will be included as part of the franchise, ensuring that the game is developed equitably. The Rugby Super Series 2024 will be held in May this year in Nairobi, Nakuru and Kakamega counties. The teams that will take part are Buffaloes, Cheetahs, Lions and Rhinos in the men's competition, while Eagles and Jaguars will line up in the women's competition.
Ernest Akor, that's Uganda trailing. That's a beautiful try. To come. That was a beautiful try.
Now, Shangilia Hoop Dreams boys and girls won the Westland Sub-County Junior Ball Games, which came to an end today at the Nairobi Primary School. Shangilia Hoop Dreams will now represent Nairobi in the county games set for next week at Moi Forces Academy.
The inaugural games, which attracted 27 teams from Westland, saw Shangilia Hoop Dream Boys overcome Strathmore Boys 13-7, Kiliman Primary 7-2 and Nairobi Primary 10-2 in the round-robin matches before they were awarded a walkover against Oshawa Academy.
So what we are having first term, we had athletics for kids, we call it kids athletics, and then junior school,
we had ball games plus athletics. So we have a tournament that we start from the zonals. We have 2 zones in Westlands, Kilimani zone and Parkland zone. So we had a competition for the zonals. We selected a team that now came here today, and today we are trying to pick a team that will represent Westlands to go and meet other teams in the Nairobi region.
The girls' team completed a double over Strathmore School, whom they beat 14-2 before they overcame Nairobi and Kilimani Primary in the other matches.
We've been playing this game for around a year now, and this is how far we are. Hope to expound more on this game. It's some of our other players' dreams to go far with basketball.
The winners of the county games will proceed to national slated for 6th and 7th of April in Nyeri.
Across our borders is that English Premier League side Arsenal will face German side Bayern Munich in the quarterfinals of the UEFA Champions League. The Gunners will host Bayern at the Emirates in the first leg, while for the third time in successive season, Manchester City won last year's title, will meet Spanish giants Real Madrid. The first legs take place on the 9th and 10th of April, with the second legs on the 16th to the 17th of April. In other ties, 5-time winners Barcelona will play French champions Paris Saint-Germain, while Atletico Madrid will host German side Borussia Dortmund. The semi-finals will be held on the 30th of April and the 1st of May, with the second legs being played a week later on the 7th and 8th of May. Wembley Stadium will host this year's final on the 1st of June in Kenya, Madaraka Day. And that's the sport for tonight. Thank you for being with us. Make sure to stay tuned tomorrow. We've got lots of sport to talk about, a full sport-heavy bulletin at 9 p.m. And also join our team on Game On, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. My name is Daniel Wahome. Have a very good evening. Back to you, John Kago and Shiksha Arora.
Thank you very much, Wahome. And of course, that brings us to the end of this live broadcast. Remember, after this, we've got an interview segment that's on Spotlight, where I'll be speaking to Zia Bet, who is a fashion entrepreneur. She's also a mom, and she's also the wife of the very able rapper Nyashinsky. So we'll also be speaking about her life, you know, all things womanhood, motherhood, entrepreneurship, relationships, and she'll be giving us a detailed insight into her life. So stay tuned for that. My name is Shiksha Arora, of course, with my co-anchor.
John Kago. That would be a very insightful interview. And she's a good dancer. You find out that for us.
She is actually a good dancer as well. The sign language interpreter has been Byron Abuli. And remember, the hashtag is Easy Friday. Keep it locked. As I said, exciting interview. And then after that, we've also got DJ Coljax coming up. But for now, as we wrap up, there's a story that we'd like to leave you with.
All right, and we just round up the news from the counties, and we start with Interior Cabinet Secretary Kithure Kindiki, who has underscored the crucial role of the National Police Reservists in securing lives and property in bandit-prone areas.
Now, Kindiki stated that NPR officers act as the first line of defense in the government efforts to curb banditry and cattle rustling. These are the stories. Of course, we'll be giving you that story right about now on our county's news roundup. That's it from us. Good night. Take care.
Good night, so long.
Speaking at Lotiki area of Isiolo County, during the pass-out ceremony of 138 new National Police Reservists, Interior Cabinet Secretary Kithure Kindiki also noted that the government has acquired modern equipment, including armored vehicles, for use by NPR and police officers battling criminals across the country.
Hii shida ya wizi wa mifugo Isiolo na sehemu nyingine za kaskazini mwa Kenya, hii shida tumeiamulia kama serikali inaenda kuisha, na mtasikia shida ya wizi wa mifugo hapa katika siku zijazo.
Bar owners in Murang'a have called on the government to intensify the crackdown on illicit and second-generation brews to eliminate toxic liquor from the market, but not give a blanket directive to shut down all businesses selling alcohol in the area.
The closure down of our businesses, as we do not manufacture any alcohol. Let him close down the manufacturers, and after he closes down the manufacturers, then whoever is going to be vetted and to be manufacturing the alcohol in Kenya, us as bar owners, we are supporting that, and we are going to be selling those products that the national government is going to give us on a stock.
In Laikipia, over 4,500 widows turned up at the PCA Mohotetu grounds for an empowerment program organized by the spouse of the Deputy President, Dorcas Rigathi. Young mothers who have lost their husbands as a result of insecurity, drug and substance abuse, as well as illicit brews, were challenged to embrace peace and reconciliation.
Just go to some of the places, utakuta mama ndiye anasema hata sisi tunataka muende mlipize kisasi. It is the truth. Na wakienda wakikufa, mama mwingine amepata shida. Kwa hivyo ningetaka pale mumekosewa, mumegawarushwa, mtu ako na kidonda, Mungu awaponye leo.
Elsewhere, a multi-agency security team from Igembe North Sub-County in Meru County have closed down 2 bars and 2 chemists in Lauri Town in the ongoing crackdown of illicit brew and drugs in the country. Led by the Igembe North Deputy County Commissioner Charles Wambogo, the team closed down 2 bars for what the DCC said was lack of amenities such as toilets and clean, safe water.
Mwedantu Club tumedhibitisha kwamba wako na license lakini hawana facilities, na pia tuko na intelligence ya kwamba hizi bar sinaweka criminals ama wakola.
And finally, Makueni leaders are urging the government to award housing contracts to local contractors in order to boost employment opportunity for residents. This comes after President Ruto's recent pledge to construct 1,000 housing units in Watertown.
Tuko na watu wanasafanya kazi na tunataka watu wetu pia wa benefit kutoka kwa hiyo muradi.
Sisi ya kungoja kwenye star 570 hash kuna ploti na ni up to 1.1 million Kenyan shillings with a genuine title deed na inakungoja.